What I didn't know, as I was trying to be polite and respond to the many commenters, was that he wanted me to talk, because he had every intention of making a long 6-minute video about it, which he dropped on his backup account, Avid Coffee Drink, on June 5th, 2023 at 5:33 p.m. And he completely distorted my comedic intentions.
Now remember the Kuleshov effect, and you have to love Dan's ableism with the spinning finger, but watch what Dan does here. He makes faces. He offers that Kuleshovian context to make you believe that I'm some box of Fruit Loops. But I'm only doing my angry Brooklyn shtick to respond to the comments, which I've been doing forever. But take a look at this video. It's something that Dan conveniently did not include in his smear video on me. And it clearly illustrates that my intent was comedic the entire time.
Everything must be quantified. I want to measure the steps that I walk every day. I want to itemize the food I eat.
Now, the most damning part of Dan's attack video against me is the claim that I was going to go to Cleveland.
You know what? Maybe someday I'll have to take a trip out to Cleveland, Ohio, and see if you have the guts to say what you said to me.
Now, why would I want to do that? Apparently, Mr. McLaughlin failed his literature class and is unaware of a little device known as hyperbole. I mean, did Jonathan Swift really want to cannibalize children? Of course not. Now, remember the Zapruder film example I used in part 1? If you don't see the whole thing, you don't know the whole story. Well, let's take a look at the portion of the video right before that last clip that Dan conveniently elided.
Is in Cleveland, Ohio, one of the shittiest fucking places in America.
Now, if you haven't caught on to the joke, and I hope you have, I am clearly remarking upon the ridiculous folly of starting a beef with someone in Cleveland. I mean, I'm in New York, which is a much better place than Cleveland. And I'm laughing here. I clearly have no intention of going to Cleveland. Why would I do that? But without seeing any of that content, you are going to think that I am some wacko stalker, which I am not. In fact, after this 24-hour period, I didn't even mention the guy. Look, here's a list of the CGVs. I didn't accumulate any more. I had 7 CGVs on my main account, Finnegan's 8, and I was playing it safe. And despite not accruing any additional community guidelines violations, 2.5 weeks after all, my main account was banned. Despite not mentioning Dan, I was doing little goofy satirical noir video. And by that time, Dan's little video had made the round. And at the time I'm recording this, Dan's video has been seen by almost 60,000 people. Now, a TikTok insider contacted me shortly after all this went down. Dan apparently is a favorite among the TikTok moderators, which would explain why an unremarkable man would get 1 million followers. And we know from this Petapixa article back in January that TikTok moderators decide which videos go viral. And even though I wanted nothing to do with this guy, didn't mention the TikTok moderators sided with him. His 6-minute video, which I've just shown you is distorted, was considered the final word on the matter. Dan had used basic editing techniques and psychological manipulation that I've already pointed out in part 1 to lie about me and libel me. And the TikTok moderators killed my account. I tried to appeal it, but within seconds, appeal denied. Now, I was obviously upset about this. I mean, it wasn't really about losing 40,000 followers. It was about the people I had helped. People I can no longer get in touch with because all of my contacts were deleted. All my messages were deleted. There are some people who I had vital dialogues with gone. I can't get in touch with them. So I let off some steam and did a little comedic parody on my blog, just so I wouldn't even have to think about the guy ever again. I carried on with my 4 remaining accounts. I figured this would blow over, but it didn't. I started receiving death threats. I had people referencing my 2014 suicide attempt and saying, "I wish you would have killed yourself." One troll posted my phone number. So I made my main remaining account private. And this was all because of Dan's video, in which he falsely painted me as a villain, as a crazy, and as a stalker. And now I have been forced to put this multi-part video together when I really should be enjoying a beautiful holiday weekend. I've had to demonstrate the context of what I was actually saying, which most people got. Because comedic commentary is not harassment. It's a bit like bullshit banter in a cafe. You'd think that a certified coffee roaster would know something about that. I'm sure he did, but Dan rigged the game in his favor. He knew that his 1 million followers would go to his backup account and watch and believe his bullshit story. And the harassment in relation to this has been relentless. Stay tuned for part 4.